Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. And I got to tell you, and I brought this out in other reports, but a lot of times I'll talk to people about the fishing conditions so that I can share them with you. And I talked to my buddy Rust, and yesterday, exactly a day ago, both of us went fishing in different areas. Rust went in one of the backwaters of the St. Lawrence, a really big, I call it a pond, but you could call it a lake in most other areas. And it's an area that it's a body of water that has a tremendous resource of fish and different populations of fish. And I went in one of our tributaries. And I talk a lot about the Grass River, but we have a number of tributaries and they all have great fishing. So I went to one of my favorite areas, and I knew I only had a couple of hours, and I went to an area that I know I could wade. And so then this morning, I called Russ and I said, "How did you do yesterday?" And he said, "Well, I'm going to tell you." He said, "It's been years and years since the first time I went to this body of water and fished and couldn't catch a fish. I thought it was terrible. I got no results whatsoever." And he said, "Yesterday, I had the same results. The same type of day." He said, "I threw everything. I tried all the things," he said, "you and I do together. Our spinner baits that we use, the plastic worms that we let go through the weed edges for bass, the other lures that have been so successful, topwater lures, underwater lures." He said, "I don't think I had a strike. I felt a couple little things that felt like maybe a tap, but maybe it was just going and hooking into a weed as it went by. I'm not sure." And I felt like, boy, you wouldn't believe my results yesterday. I had fabulous results. I caught so many fish it wasn't funny. Now, what's the difference? Am I a better angler? No. I was in a different location with different conditions. He was fishing a pond. I was fishing a shallow section of a river that was full of riffles and different pockets of water, and the fish respond differently in different environments. Fish are always going to be where bait is active, and bait is usually active, even during the daytime, in long stretches of shallow, riffly, moving water in our rivers. That's why I always have felt that in the summertime, a person's best chance of catching a lot of fish are usually in our rivers, as opposed to out in the big St. Lawrence, and that's a river too, but that's almost its own world out there, and in the ponds. Because a lot of times in the small lakes and ponds, or even big lakes, during the day, things really taper down. It's hard to find fish. But in these rivers, even during the day, there's always something happening. And so I think that's something that we all should be aware of. Different places dictate different techniques and maybe even different times. I've said over and over that I feel in the summertime, the best fishing in our bigger waters is early morning and then again in the evening, but I've always felt early morning is the best. In our river systems, you can catch fish all day, but I believe that you're going to catch the bigger fish in the evening hours, those magic evening hours. There's usually a couple hours in the evening where the fish come out of their hiding places, especially the big ones. The little ones are active all day long. They're looking for stuff and they're biting different things. But in the evening, those big fish come out to feed and play. They've learned through the years that this is the time that's going to be easiest for them to hunt, easiest for them to be successful, and it's when they're going to have their dinner. And that's my take as I think of the difference between Rust's adventure yesterday, which resulted in no strikes, and mine, which I caught so many fish I can't tell you. And I was thrilled to be out there on the water. And while I didn't catch any big fish, I had a great time and a lot of little fish catches. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.